Selamat pagi. Ketemu lagi di hari Sabtu seperti biasa. Kalau Sabtu kemarin IF Online Seminar hadir dengan topik parenting. Hari ini kita hadir dengan topik bahasa Inggris di mana teman-teman sudah mulai bisa memanfaatkan waktunya untuk belajar lagi mengenai tips-tips yang akan disampaikan terkait pembelajaran bahasa Inggris. Sesuai dengan yang Bapak Ibu ketahui atau yang teman-teman ketahui, peserta hari ini hadir. Hari ini kita akan mendiskusikan tentang cara-cara bagaimana kalian semua bisa meningkatkan skor terutama untuk reading part di berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris. Oke? Tapi sebelum kita mulai, seperti biasa, saya akan menyebutkan beberapa hal terkait online seminar ini selama diadakan, yaitu nanti mikrofon untuk semua peserta akan kami mute, kecuali memang nanti ada interaksi dengan pembicara kita secara langsung. Dan kalau misalnya nanti ternyata selama materi disampaikan, teman-teman bisa menyampaikan pertanyaan apapun terkait materi yang dijelaskan melalui kolom chat box. Jadi nanti kita akan bacakan di sesi-sesi tertentu dengan pembicara kita pagi hari ini. Langsung kita jawab dengan pembicaranya. Tanpa berlama-lama lagi, seperti yang teman-teman ketahui, hari ini di studio saya sudah bersama dengan salah satu IF teacher dari Surabaya. Good morning, Mr. Ashley.
Good morning, Mr. Farid. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Awesome. I am great. Thank you for asking, and thank you so much for joining us today here at EF. So, do you know what topic we are looking at today, Mr. Farid?
8 steps to increase your reading score.
To improve your reading score.
Oh, yeah.
To increase is okay as well. That's fine. Yeah. So, reading tests, recent exams. I guess you've taken reading tests in English before, right? How do you feel about them? Are they easy, medium, difficult? How did you feel when you were a student?
Medium to difficult.
Medium to difficult.
You know that we need to take a lot of time by doing that reading part, right?
Yeah. Did you have any strategy to try and help you answer the questions?
Usually, this is what I did.
Okay.
I've just tried to read the first paragraph and then straight to the questions.
Okay.
Straight to the questions.
Let's straight to the questions.
And then if I didn't find something else in the first paragraph, then I tried to read all of them.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like a strategy. Yeah. So maybe today your past self would benefit from these steps, yeah?
Yeah.
And I know as well, actually on a personal level as well, when I was studying, I didn't really have a strategy either. It's only when I became a teacher, I started teaching these steps. I realized, wow, actually this really helps. So when I've taken my own qualifications, using these steps and a strategy really helped improve my educational qualifications as well.
Oke, jadi sebelumnya Mr. Ashley ini juga nggak nemuin apa ya strategi khusus untuk mengerjakan reading part, tapi ketika akhirnya Mr. Ashley jadi guru, akhirnya menemukan beberapa cara yang pernah diajarkan dan ternyata juga bisa mengimprove reading saat mengerjakan reading part di berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris itu. Dan untuk teman-teman ketahui juga materi hari ini akan disampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris oleh Mr. Ashley, tapi nanti di poin-poin tertentu saya akan bantu translatekan kira-kira apa yang disampaikan oleh Mr. Ashley ke depannya. Dan again, kalau misalnya teman-teman ada pertanyaan terkait apapun yang dijelaskan oleh Mr. Ashley, silahkan dituliskan di kolom chat box. Jadi nanti saya akan coba bacakan di sesi-sesi tertentu untuk langsung didiskusikan dengan Mr. Ashley terkait apapun yang teman-teman ingin tanyakan, termasuk untuk materi hari ini. Dicatat, jangan lupa. Jadi poin-poin penting apapun yang sudah disampaikan Mr. Ashley silahkan dicatat. Oke? Mr. Ashley,
Great.
shall we start?
Yes, let's start. So we'll go to our slides in a second. Now, before we look at our 8 steps, let's just see who is this for? Who is this seminar for? How can you benefit? So today's seminar, it's for those who want to improve their reading score in English, although it may also help in your Bahasa reading as well, right? Now, the skills we look at today are transferable. So that means we can use them for different tests. We can use them for Cambridge tests. We can use them for IELTS, TOEFL. This strategy works for a multitude of tests and exercises at your school and online as well.
Oke, jadi ini materi hari ini nih kita khusus untuk siapapun yang memang menginginkan untuk improve reading score-nya ya. Sekali lagi di berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris. Again, di berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris itu rata-rata untuk pengerjaan reading part-nya itu sama. Jadi step-step yang akan dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley ini bisa diterapkan di berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris yang nanti teman-teman akan lalui. Terutama nih, apalagi minggu-minggu ini teman-teman yang ada di SMA ataupun yang SMP kan ini lagi minggu-minggu ujian juga. Jadi nanti teman-teman bisa menerapkan apapun itu yang sudah diajarkan sama Mr. Ashley. Dan skill yang akan di-share oleh Mr. Ashley hari ini adalah again dapat diterapkan di berbagai macam, sudah disebutkan itu ada UNAS, Cambridge, TOEFL, IELTS atau apapun itu di semua bagian readingnya, oke?
Yeah, so these work on all sorts of different tests, all sorts of activities as well. So what are we going to cover? So we're going to do two things. First, we're going to look at some different reading skills, what they are, why we use them. And then after that, we're going to look how we use those skills in an 8-step strategy to help you get the best scores in your tests.
Oke, jadi hari ini Mr. Ashley akan coba jelaskan dulu terkait perbedaan dari macam-macam reading skills ya, dan kenapa kita menggunakan macam-macam reading skills itu. Lalu nanti langsung masuk ke materi utamanya tentang 8 steps penting yang teman-teman bisa implementasikan ke berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris yang nantinya teman-teman akan hadapi.
Okay, so are you ready?
Yep, sure.
All right, great. Mr. Farad will help me to, or help us all understand, or check that we understand what's happening. So, let's first look at our reading skills. So we've got skimming, scanning, and detailed reading. Farid, are skimming, scanning, and detailed reading? Do you want to guess?
I just know one thing by your PowerPoint. It's skimming.
Okay, what
That just we discussed before. Skimming. Skimming is just like you read fast by those, reading part.
Okay.
Then try to understand all of them.
Okay. We'll find out in a minute, yes.
Okay.
How about scanning? What do you think scanning is?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Have you heard the word to scan before if you scan things?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Scanning document.
Okay. And what is scanning a document?
You copy it. Right? You
Copying
something,
it.
right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, actually, maybe scanning document doesn't quite work for this, but yes, you're right. That is scanning, though. Yes, and and detailed reading. Yeah, so reading with detail. Depth, yes,
yeah.
Of course. Okay, so let's look at these. First, we're going to start with skimming. Okay, so skimming. What is it? So skim reading is reading quickly to understand or get a general idea of a text. So we skim read quickly and not in depth. Okay, so how do we skim read? So we can do this a few ways. We can read the headings first, so the heading or the title. We can also read the first and last sentences of a paragraph, because normally the first sentence will introduce the topic for that paragraph. And also reading the entire text quickly without focusing on the detail. So that we can understand, all right, so this text is about this paragraph is about this, not knowing the exact ideas, but understanding the general idea.
Okay, this is what we call as a skimming.
Skim reading,
Skills,
yes.
ya. Jadi kalau di bagian skimming ini atau skim reading ini, again yang bisa teman-teman baca di PowerPoint-nya itu bahwa teman-teman ini melakukan pembacaan cepat, general overview of the text. Jadi teman-teman tidak membacanya secara detail, tapi memahami paragraf per paragraf dari semua bacaan yang teman-teman baca. Ini salah satu reading skills yang pertama ya. Dan yang bisa teman-teman lakukan untuk skim reading ini adalah baca headingsnya dulu, lalu hanya membaca di first and last sentences of the paragraph. Jadi ada baca di kalimat pertama sama kalimat terakhir paragraf untuk mengetahui poin dari paragraf tersebut membahas apa, dan hanya membaca secara cepat terkait teksnya itu dia membahas apa sih secara general. Jadi tidak membaca detail yang teman-teman harus baca kata per kata, kalimat per kalimat untuk mengerti semuanya. Ini yang dimaksud dengan skim reading.
So that's what it is. That's how we do it. Now, what do we use it for? And what do we use it for in real life? So, like I said, so understanding the gist, and gist is like the general idea.
Okay.
We can use it to identify the tone. So by that, or is this maybe a informational piece, an informational piece? Is this someone's opinion? Is it an essay? We can also use it to preview, review, and overview. So preview to anticipate, to predict what it's about. To review, to maybe be able to summarize to our friends. I read this thing. It's about this. And overview as well. That'd be looking at the general idea. And in real life, we also use skim reading. So skim reading, sometimes newspaper. Just okay, it's about this. It's about this. Websites, menus. So just to get the general idea of an article or a topic.
Oke, jadi kapan kita pakai skim reading ini? Again, untuk memahami gist ya. Tadi kalau misalnya Mr. Ashley sempat singgung itu, gist itu lebih ke general idea-nya. Jadi nggak baca secara detail, tapi poin-poin yang teman-teman pengen tahu aja beritanya itu tentang apa. Kalau misalnya direlatekan dengan sesuatu hal yang in real life, itu Mr. Ashley juga sempat mention di situ ada newspaper, website atau menu yang ada di restoran atau apapun itu kan kadang teman-teman cuma ngelihat sekilas aja, oke aku maunya yang ini, cuma tahu secara general itu poinnya dia membahas apa. Jadi kita biasanya pakai skim reading itu tadi.
Yeah. So when we're at a restaurant, right? If we look at a menu, and you don't know if you want to go there, you might just skim read. They've got this, or oh no, I don't really fancy it. No.
Yeah.
You didn't read in detail. You didn't go, oh, the pizza is $12.
Yeah.
You just generally look, yes or no. So we use it in
Okay.
real life as well. All right, so it's time for us to practice, okay?
Okay.
So for this, if you're using Zoom or YouTube, you can type a message in the chat box. Yes?
Mhm.
Okay. So first, we're going to look at a picture, okay? Sometimes reading text, we have a picture as well. So using our picture on the screen, can you send us a message? What do you think the text could be about? Okay, maybe give you like 30 seconds. If you are using Zoom or YouTube, send us a message. See if you can guess what you think the text is about.
30 seconds.
Sure.
Oke, jadi teman-teman kita coba ya again melakukan skim reading tapi dari picture yang sudah ditunjukin sama Mr. Ashley di layarnya teman-teman masing-masing ini. Kalau misalnya teman-teman lihat, kira-kira teksnya ini nantinya akan membahas tentang apa kalau misalnya teman-teman lihat di situ. Jadi bisa ditulis di chat box. Teksnya tentang apa ya?
Yeah, what do you think it's about, Farid?
What's those saying?
What can you see in that picture?
Is that a rat
Could be.
with a big ear?
Yes, with the ears, yeah.
Big ears.
Okay.
Something about nocturnal animal.
Whoa, what's nocturnal mean?
The animals only lives at night.
Check out his vocabulary, eh? Yes, nocturnal. Okay, is it the same in Bahasa, nocturnal?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned the wrong.
No, that's right. No, nocturnal's good. No, nocturnal, yeah. I was just surprised you said that word, that's all. But yeah, nocturnal,
Okay,
good, yeah.
we got some here. We got some.
Uh-huh.
Descriptions of a mouse. Skinny mouse.
Yeah.
Mouse habits.
Mouse what, sorry?
Mouse habits.
Oh, mouse habits.
Habits,
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
Deaf bat. Is that a bat?
Oh, well, it could be.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's a mouse, yeah. Identifications, descriptions. A mouse, mostly.
All right.
A
okay.
poor mouse, they say.
A poor mouse. Oh.
Yeah.
A poor, like a sick mouse. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. So we've already guessed what the text is about.
Yeah.
So now we've got a task for you. We're going to practice skim reading. Okay. So skim read the text to answer these questions. Now remember, skim reading, is that reading quickly or slowly, Farid?
Quickly.
Quickly, yep. Do we read every word individually slowly?
Nope.
No, we're just reading quickly to get the general...
The general...
idea or meaning, yes.
Idea, yeah.
All right. So, you've got 3 questions here, guys.
Okay.
What do you think the title of this article is? What is the gist of the article? So just the general idea. And what is the tone of the article? So is it someone's opinion? Are they telling you some facts? What do you think?
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Oke, teman-teman, kita mau coba untuk skill skim read-nya dulu ya ke teman-teman semua ya. Jadi nanti setelah ini, so we got an article about that, and then they try to skim read and answer these 3 questions ya.
That's right.
Oke, jadi ada 3 pertanyaan yang sudah disiapkan sama Mr. Ashley di sini. Yang pertama adalah what do you think the title of this article? And then yang kedua ada what is the gist? Gist tadi general ideas ya dari bacaannya nanti yang ditunjukkan sama Mr. Ashley. Yang ketiga adalah what is the tone of the article? What is the tone?
Tone. So like Is the article, does it feel like it's someone's opinion? Is it something factual? Is it like a news story?
Oh, oke.
Ya.
Jadi pertanyaan yang ketiga itu nanti lebih ke apakah ini pendapat seseorang, apakah memang ini fakta tentang artikel itu, apakah ini memang cerita ya, atau cerita-cerita baru yang teman-teman baru ketahui gitu. Oke. 3 pertanyaan, 30 detik. So Mr.
30
Ashley
detik.
will show ya.
Yes. 30 seconds. Okay, guys, we'll show you the picture. So read it quickly. You've got your 3 questions. All right. Here we go. Hopefully you can read that. If not, don't worry, we'll be sending some resources out later.
Ya.
30 seconds. Mr. Farad will also read it to see if he can answer it as well. Okay. So 30 seconds.
Oke, I'll try to read ya maybe for the participants.
Sure.
So di situ belum ada title-nya teman-teman. Kalau misalnya di koneksinya teman-teman atau di beberapa gadgetnya teman-teman PowerPoint-nya tidak begitu jelas, ini saya coba bacakan dia untuk artikelnya. Title-nya di situ kosong kalau misalnya teman-teman lihat. Tapi dari bacaannya adalah, have you ever wondered what animal has the biggest ears? Of course, it's the African elephant. We all know this. Scientists know this. However, scientists have looked at what animal has the biggest ears for its body size. The elephant has big ears, but it also has a giant body. Zoologists from the American Museum of Natural History in New York City have found out which animal has the biggest ears relative to its body size. And the answer is the long-eared jerboa. Jerboa. Oh. Not many people know about this cute, big-eared creature. It is a rodent. Rodent?
Mm-hmm.
It lives in the deserts of China and Mongolia. It is a nocturnal creature, which means it is active at night and sleeps during the day.
Okay. Thank you for the narration there, Farad. Yes. I know some of you are finding it maybe a little bit blurry on screen, but we will also read it as well so you can hear it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, after listening, after reading, in the text box, what do you think the title of this text could be?
We already get some.
Okay.
Title.
Uh-huh.
I read some. There is a title from Keisha, The Long-Eared Jerboa.
Okay.
The Long-Eared Jerboa again. The African Elephant. Ooh, that's good. African Elephant again. The Small Elephant Africa.
Okay.
Okay. And then the Long-Eared Jerboa. The Long-Eared Jerboa. Most of them are answering the same thing. The
Yep.
Long-Eared Jerboa.
Okay. Good. So let's see what the actual title was. I think actually maybe Zara, animal with big ear for its body size. Yeah, pretty much there. Yeah.
Scientists find
Animal with biggest ears. Yes.
Okay.
So this is the title of this text, but you know, you're right. You got the general gist. It was about well, actually, I wouldn't say what it's about. What is the gist of the article? What is it talking about, guys?
Okay, what is it talking about? Ya, artikelnya tentang apa nih kira-kira? Gist-nya atau general idea-nya kalau misalnya teman-teman.
So if you were explaining this article to your friend in 1 or 2 sentences, what would you say? Oh, this is an article that says... What does it talk about?
Oh, we have, if you see at the chat box from Ulya Silmi, she answering completely from 1 to 3.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, she mentioned about, it's about an animal that lives in Africa, China, and Mongolia.
Okay.
African animal, the biggest ear animal. Discovery long-eared jerboa. Gist, the description of jerboa.
Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, you're right. So it's talking about the jerboa. You're right. You caught all that. And it's talking about the animal with the biggest ears compared to its body. So you're right. We had 2 animals there. Can you remember the animals we had?
Yeah.
What were the 2 animals mentioned? Can you remember? There was the jerboa and there was the African...
Elephant something?
He is listening, yeah. African elephant, yes, the African elephant, right. But the main gist of this article, yeah, talking about the jerboa.
Okay.
And what was the tone of the article? So, that article, was it someone's opinion? Was it talking about information? Was it talking about changes?
Okay, if I saw by those answers,
yes,
especially from Ulya Silmi, this is someone's opinion. Actually,
someone's opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone's opinion. So actually, it was describing facts. So actually, we'd say it was talking about a sort of very neutral tone and very informational. So
Yeah,
mainly
it's about fact information.
yeah. Ah, there we go. So neutral, informational, factual. Yeah. It wasn't discussing, oh, I think this, I think that.
Oh.
So it was mainly, factual. Telling us a discovery, right? It was a discovery of...
Most of our students answering correctly.
Yeah, good. All right. So that would be skim reading, okay? So skim reading, we've read the text quickly to understand the general gist.
Oke, again ya teman-teman ya, summarize-nya adalah skim reading ini teman-teman harus bisa membaca secara cepat untuk mengetahui general idea-nya dari bacaan itu. Jadi nggak perlu baca secara keseluruhan, tapi teman-teman udah tahu bahwa oke, teks ini mendeskripsikan tentang ini, dan ini. Poinnya itu saja.
Now, when we get to the 8 steps, don't worry, we don't take as long on skimming just as this. We're just practicing this skill so we can use it later.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we've got skim reading done. All right, next we're going to look at scanning. Okay, so in the picture, what can you see in that picture, Farid?
Someone scanning the paper.
They are scanning the paper. What are they using? Do you know what you call that thing?
I forgot. What is that called?
How about you, Yuli? Do you know what it's called?
What is that?
We call it a mag. Make it bigger.
Magnificent? No. Magnificent glass? What is that?
Yeah, almost a magnifying glass.
Oh, magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass. So there he is.
Look, magnifying glass.
Ah, yes, that's right, guys. The students know, yes.
Yeah.
A magnifying glass, right. So he's scanning a newspaper here. So what is scan reading? So scan reading is reading to locate or find specific information or facts. So when we're scanning, we already know or have an idea of what we're looking for. Compared to skimming, we don't know yet. Yeah, skimming, we're just reading to see if we like or don't like or general idea. Scanning is when we already have an idea of what we're looking for and trying to identify it.
Oke, jadi kalau bedanya kalau dari scanning sama skimming tadi ya teman-teman ya, kalau di skim kan kita secara general belum tahu tuh isi dari bacaannya itu sendiri seperti apa. Tapi kalau misalnya scanning, seperti yang dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley tadi, kita secara general udah tahu, tapi akhirnya kita lebih pengen tahu lagi untuk identifying bacaannya tadi. Jadi kalau misalnya di situ, again, kita lebih fokus ke informasi tertentu untuk dicari lebih dalam terkait informasi itu tadi.
Okay, so how do we do this? So first, you need to know what you are looking for, yeah? Then you can look for one keyword at a time. Now, what do you think a keyword is, Farid? A keyword.
A keyword?
Yeah, a keyword. Do you think it's an important word or not important word? Important word, yes. Okay. Then you can let your eyes drift through the text until you find the word or phrase or words you are looking for. Now, drifting, sort of letting your eyes kind of go through. So if we're looking for something about elephant, yeah, going through. Oh, elephant. Okay, so we know we found something we might want to look at. Oke.
Jadi ini lebih ke, again, fokus dari scanning ini lebih ke teman-teman memang perlu mencari sesuatu informasi yang teman-teman perlukan. Makanya akhirnya di situ kita cari sesuatu, terus di situ ada keyword atau memang kata-kata yang pengen kita cari, lalu akhirnya kita baca dari keseluruhan teks yang kita temukan itu, kita mau cari kata-kata atau topik-topik tertentu yang memang teman-teman mau cari. Sampai di situ akhirnya ketemu the highlights ya.
Yeah, and then after that, highlighting. So let's say, oh, we're looking for this information. There's some here. We can highlight, and then we can look at that section carefully because that's the information we want to know. Yeah. Okay. So again, if we're looking at maybe a menu, I really want a cheeseburger. Okay, we're looking through the menu. I know I want a cheeseburger, so I'm scanning. Cheeseburger. Okay, I know which area I want to look at. Yeah. So we use it in real life as well.
Itu bedanya dari scanning dan skimming.
Yeah. So again, we use it to search for specific information, and scanning in real life. Shall we use it shopping, catalogs? An airport. When would we scan at an airport, Farid? So you already know some information. You're looking for it. When do we do that at an airport?
When you want to go somewhere and try to read the sign.
Yeah, when you're looking at the the flight information.
Yes.
Yeah. My flight is AX7232.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. I'm flying to Manila. Oh, Manila.
Which
Okay.
gate?
Yeah. Ah, okay, this one there. So these are skills we use in real life as well.
Oke, ini another reading skills ya yang biasanya kita pakai untuk namanya scanning itu tadi. Again, kalau scanning ini bedanya teman-teman sudah punya informasi jelas yang mau teman-teman cari, specific informations. Jadi kayak misalnya di situ ada shopping, catalog, airports, directories and websites. Jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman udah tahu terus cari, oke, ketemu ya sudah. Tapi kalau skimming tadi lebih ke general dan teman-teman belum tahu informasinya seperti apa.
Yeah. And why do you think we skim read before we scan? Why do you think it's important to skim read first and scan after?
I don't know about that.
Okay, so skim read, we're reading to find the
General ideas.
general idea.
Uh-huh.
And then scanning, we want to find the
The specific idea.
specific idea. Yeah, so if we skim read first, we already have an idea of where the information is,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can use scanning to look specifically. at the
Okay,
areas,
okay.
yeah. Also, we use it to understand the context of the entire text. So sometimes when you're doing a reading test, reading exam, there might be more than one section.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we're talking about elephants, and you find, okay, we're looking for elephants. First paragraph, elephants. But what if elephants are in 3 different paragraphs? If you don't skim read first, you don't know that the elephant comes up more than once in that reading.
Oke.
So ensuring that you know, or you know where the information is, it helps you make less mistakes. If you
Okay.
just read the question and find it and go, okay, you might be missing other important information in different parts of the text.
Oke, jadi untuk skim sama scan ini kalau misalnya direlatekan ke berbagai macam misalnya ujian juga teman-teman ya. Again, kalau misalnya teman-teman cuma baca soalnya aja terus nemukan poin apa yang ditanyakan dari soalnya, terus teman-teman melakukan scanning tanpa skim, itu biasanya juga bisa jadi suatu kesalahan juga. Karena kalau misalnya tadi seperti dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley, di pertanyaannya kamu cuma perlu menemukan elephants misalnya, tapi ternyata kamu cuma baca cari elephants terus nemu di paragraf pertama, padahal di paragraf kedua sama ketiga itu juga ada kata-kata yang sama yang kamu cari. Ya, itu sebabnya kata Mr. Ashley bilang skimming itu tetap perlu. Kalau untuk di berbagai macam ujian itu kamu tetap perlu skim semuanya. Setelah itu kamu tetap pakai scan kata-kata kunci apa yang memang kamu cari di situ, terus disesuaikan lagi dengan konteksnya seperti again to understand the context of the entire text itu tadi.
That's right. And it also helps you find the area. So if we skim read first and we have a question like, it talks about that in paragraph 4. We already know this because we've done the skim reading, yeah? So it helps us answer it more quickly sometimes as well.
Oke, jadi dari skim dan scan ini tadi akhirnya teman-teman juga bisa ngejawab berbagai macam pertanyaan itu dengan mudah karena udah tahu isi dari macam-macam paragrafnya seperti apa dan tinggal balik lagi ke paragraf mana yang teman-teman perlukan.
Okay, all right, guys. So time to practice our scanning.
Okay.
So if we put it on the full screen, we'll be able to see you have some questions, yeah? These are going to be true or false questions like you get in regular exams, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll put the questions on the side in a second. Now, how do we scan read? So we'll look for keywords or phrases, so important words. We can also look for synonyms, so words with a similar meaning. So let's say, what is a synonym for big?
Huge.
Huge. Good. Okay. What about an antonym for big?
Small.
Small. There we go. So synonyms are words that are
Similar.
similar. Antonym?
Opposite.
Opposite. Yes.
Opposite, yeah.
Opposite. Opposite. Yeah, that's a common one here in Indonesia. Opposite. Yeah. If you want to sound natural, opposite.
Opposite. Okay.
Even though it says like a website, yeah, it says
Yeah,
site,
yeah.
but actually you say opposite.
Opposite.
Yeah.
Oke.
So that's what we're looking for.
Oke, ini scan ya teman-teman ya. Again, dilihat dulu keywords dan phrase-nya seperti apa atau important words-nya. Terus untuk menemukan jawaban yang tepat adalah cari sinonimnya atau antonimsnya. Jadi dua hal ini bisa saja bergantian. Bisa antonimnya, bisa sinonimnya. Tapi again teman-teman harus tahu keyword-nya yang paling penting. Nanti tinggal disesuaikan itu antara sinonimnya atau antonimsnya. Seperti itu. Let's start.
Okay, so we're going to do this together, yeah?
Yeah.
So here we've got that same article. We've already skim read it. So we already kind of know what it's about. And then, okay, now we're going to look at the question. So let's look at question 1. Well, I say question 1, it's sentences, right? So true or false sentences.
Yes.
So let's look at sentence 1. Can you read it for me, Farid?
The African elephant is the animal with the largest ears. True or false?
Good. Okay. So in that sentence, what do you think the important words are in the African elephant? It's the animal with the largest ears.
Elephant.
Elephant and
The largest ears.
Good. So we've got a specific subject, African
Yes.
elephant, animal with the largest ears. Okay. So those are our keywords, yeah?
Yeah.
So now what we can do is we can try and find where that information is in the text. Now, we already know it's somewhere around here because we already did our skim reading. So we know that, it talks about the elephant at the start, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, it's somewhere in here. Now, we can underline information that's relevant. So, okay, African elephant. Okay, here's the African elephant in the reading. Biggest ears. Biggest ears is a synonym for...
Synonym. Largest.
Largest, that's right. Biggest and largest. So
Yes.
sometimes, especially when you get to higher English levels, more difficult exams, it won't have the same word. It might have a synonym or an antonym to check that you understand vocabulary and checking your overall range of vocabulary. Now here we've got biggest ears, largest ears. They are synonyms. So are they the same or different?
Same.
The same, right? So, this one's going to be true.
Nah, ini ya teman-teman ya. Again, ini a bit tricky seperti yang dijelasin sama Mr. Ashley. Penguasaan vocabulary ya terutama ya itu juga harus lebih besar lagi. Yang perlu diperhatikan adalah kata kuncinya. Kita udah ketemu itu African elephants, animal with the largest ears. Terus yang kedua, kita tinggal sesuaikan sinonim sama antonimnya. Bukan berarti dua-duanya itu akan ada di soalnya, tapi bisa jadi salah satunya. Contohnya yang ada di sini adalah synonyms. Di gimana dibacaannya itu ada biggest tapi di soalnya pakai largest. Again ini artinya sama. Dimana hanya ya beda tulisannya aja tapi artinya sama-sama besar gitu. Maka jawabannya adalah benar.
Yeah. Now, for this reading, you might find this easy, you might find it difficult. Actually, it's okay because these skills, we use them the same when we get to more difficult text. So later on, if you're finding this maybe a bit easy or maybe a bit tricky, but if you're finding it easy, using it on more advanced text as well. So these skills work on, different levels for reading.
Oke, jadi di skill ini biasanya tetap akan kepake di different levels ya teman-teman, di level-level yang berbeda. Tapi kebanyakan yang terjadi adalah seperti ini. Pokoknya teman-teman tetap memperhatikan 3 poin yang disampaikan sama Mr. Ashley itu tadi.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our next sentence.
Yes.
Very short sentence. What's the key words in this one?
J-boy is ugly.
So we got
The J-boy.
Jerboa and the other main word?
Ugly.
Ugly, right? That's the key word.
Okay.
The and is, it's making the sentence, yeah?
Okay.
All right, Jerboa and ugly. Okay, so talking about how the Jerboa looks, yeah? So we know it's somewhere in this section here. Okay. So can you see a sentence with the Jerboa?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay, easy peasy.
Long ear. Yeah.
Now we've got the word ugly. So is there a word in that section which is similar to ugly?
I just can't how people know about this cute big-eared creature.
Okay, which of those words could be connected to ugly?
The antonyms, right?
Nope. And what's the antonym you can see? That's okay. So, okay, let's look at this word ugly. What's the opposite of ugly? What is an antonym for ugly?
Cute. Cute.
Cute. So are those two words connected, ugly and cute?
Yeah.
Because they are?
Opposite.
They are antonyms.
Antonyms.
Yeah, opposites.
Oh, okay.
That's right, yeah. So in this one, it's saying long-eared Jerboa is a cute, big-eared creature. So if it's cute, is that the same as ugly or opposite of ugly?
Opposite of ugly.
Opposite, exactly. So that's why it would be false.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So is it always with the antonyms things always?
It's not always, no, but
False answers? No.
Oh, false answers. These are some things that reading tests test you for, right? So your ability to see synonyms, antonyms, but there are also other things like general meaning, understanding what the the writer is saying.
Okay.
But these are some things you can look for, and we'll apply these to more difficult texts later as well.
Oke. Jadi again ya teman-teman ya, lebih diperhatikan lagi tentang antonim sama anonimsnya. Ini poin penting banget sih, karena saya sendiri juga baru tahu kalau masalah reading ini kita harus lebih memperhatikan antonim sama synonyms.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Rashid.
So these are things to look for, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So finally, we've got this one here. We've got Jaboa.
Asia.
Found in Asia. What does that mean, found in Asia?
Jaboa only can be found in Asia.
Well, it could be only, yeah, or it can be found in Asia, yes. So, well, I'll get to that in a second. All right. So that's going to be in this section here, in the yellow section. Now, can be found. So we've got Jaboa. Let's see. Oh. So we know this is about the Jaboa. That's the subject. Okay. Now, Asia. Which words in there are connected to Asia?
Because I saw that before. So it's China.
China. Anything else?
Mongolia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that sentence say, Fad? Can you read it for us? It lives.
It lives in the deserts of China and Mongolia.
Okay. So it lives in. Is that the same as it can be found in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it lives
Yeah.
in. We can see it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
China and Mongolia, are they in Asia?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So, what's the answer?
It's true.
Yeah, it is true.
Okay.
Okay. So, what reading exams are trying to test you for is, can you understand the meaning? Yeah. So they will ask you in different ways, but especially if you're going to study academic reading or study English in another country or look at English books, you need to they're testing you to see if you can understand the information in there and not get confused.
Oke. Jadi again, reading test itu lebih tujuannya ke ngetes kepemahaman teman-teman ya terhadap informasi yang disampaikan, tapi ditanyakan dengan berbagai cara yang berbeda. Kayak ini tadi kita menggunakan sinonim dan antonims, di mana yang terakhir itu teman-teman tahu China and Mongolia itu ada di Asia, tapi pertanyaannya tidak mencantumkan negara yang disebutkan di bacaannya, tapi benuanya yang disebutkan. Sama dengan halnya dengan pertanyaan yang pertama tadi, largest dan biggest. Kalau misalnya teman-teman akhirnya tricky di situ, bisa aja ngejawabnya salah karena dicantumkan di bacaannya biggest bukan largest. Again, pemahaman kita terhadap bacaan dan pertanyaan itu yang akan lebih diteskan. Kira-kira kita paham nggak sih atas informasi yang disampaikan dari pertanyaan dan bacaannya, meskipun sama-sama memiliki keterkaitan yang sama sebetulnya dari yang ditanyakan, hanya saja vocabulary yang digunakan berbeda, gitu aja.
And also when you're answering questions, try to ask yourself, why did I choose that answer? Because if you cannot answer that, okay, so why did I pick false? Oh, I don't know, I just choose false. Well, you're just taking a gamble, yeah? But if you could say, oh, I chose this answer because of this, then you're more likely to get it correct, right?
Oke, jadi untuk lebih memberikan koreksi terhadap diri sendiri, tadi Mr. Ashley juga menyampaikan kalau misalnya teman-teman udah yakin jawabannya apa, coba lebih sering untuk koreksi ke diri sendiri, kenapa akhirnya aku memilih jawaban yang ini. Jadi teman-teman punya alasan dari jawaban yang teman-teman jawab, nggak asal jawab aja. Nanti dari situ akhirnya teman-teman juga bisa mengidentifikasi jawabannya, oke, ini udah bener nggak ya. Jadi ada waktu berpikir sedikit untuk merelaksasikan, oke, jawaban ini memang betul, seperti itu.
Okay, so that's skimming.
Yep.
Scanning.
Yeah.
Now we're going to look at detailed reading, okay? So detailed reading is when we read carefully to understand exactly what a text is saying. So unlike skim reading, where we read quickly to try and get the general idea, detailed reading is trying to find, specific information, meaning, context, things like that. And how do you do this? So you need to allow yourself plenty of time, and you try to focus on the message and the meaning of the text. So this is something you would do after skimming and scanning. If you had a question asking you, how does the writer feel about this? Why do you think the writer said this? So you're trying to understand the meaning and their feeling.
Oke, jadi kalau untuk detail reading ini poinnya adalah lebih diperlukan kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan yang lebih fokus lagi. Kayak tadi di-mention sama Mr. Ashley adalah bagaimana perasaan penulis ketika membuat bacaan ini misalnya. Otomatis teman-teman tidak bisa asal skim dan scan, karena again teman-teman harus membaca detail keseluruhan bacaannya untuk mengetahui kira-kira perasaan penulis ketika membuat bacaan ini seperti apa. Dan untuk mengetahui hal itu, teman-teman harus melakukan detail reading. Again, detail reading ini tujuannya untuk memahami secara keseluruhan. Jadi teman-teman harus baca secara perlahan untuk tahu betul-betul isi dari bacaannya itu seperti apa. Bedanya seperti itu saja untuk detail, skim, dan scan.
So when do we do detailed reading in real life? So things like responding or summarizing text, academic reading, completing forms, maybe instructions. You've got instructions.
Yeah, you
follow them
can
carefully,
skim
right?
there. Yeah.
Sometimes we do skim with instructions, and that's when we make mistakes. And I often do that. You know, when you get a new toy, you're like, oh yeah, I'll just read them. You know, I'll read them, and then oh, I broke it. So yeah, sometimes we have to be careful there. Letters, emails, contracts of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that will have specific information you want to make sure you understand. So these are some real world examples of when we use detailed reading.
Ya, detail reading ini kalau misalnya kita temukan di real life, again dari macam-macam itu kita sudah sempat bisa lihat ya. Responding atau summarizing something. Jadi kalau misalnya kita mau ngerespon atau memberikan summarize terhadap sesuatu bacaan, academic reading, completing forms, terus ada instructions tadi yang sempat disebutkan sama Mr. Ashley juga, letters, email, dan kontrak. Ini adalah hal-hal yang kita tidak bisa melakukan asal skim dan scan. Jadi tetap harus di detail reading. Before we continue, Mr. Ashley, there is one question about that.
Okay.
Is there any time limit to do the detail reading, actually?
Well, that will depend on the test. So yes, most tests you should have a time limit, or when you do your Indonesian tests here, when you were younger, did you have a time limit for how long?
Yeah. Usually 1 to 1.5 hours.
1 to 1.5 hours. Okay. So for that, I would, in preparation, because you normally do preparation tests, right?
Yeah.
Try to have an idea of how you're going to split your time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 1 hour 30. Okay. There are 10 questions. Okay. So I did skim read, only maybe 30 seconds doing that. Scanning. Okay. So it depends on the question you need, right? If it's true or false, you might just need to scan read, not necessarily detailed read in detail. But I would use that time when you do practice tests to see how long you spend on each section, so that you have enough time to finish. If you are, logically, if you have 10 questions and on the third question you've already used half your time, then yeah, you might need to speed up or start to make a plan. So it's difficult for me to give you an exact time.
Yes. Yeah.
I would say think about how long you have, how many questions you have, and use your time wisely. Often when I was younger, sometimes there'd be more time than I expected. So try to maximize that time. Don't finish, too quickly and say, "Oh, I've got an hour left. I will just leave."
Okay.
Try to use that extra time just to go check and give yourself a chance to get a better chance to get more correct answers. Yeah.
Oke, ini menjawab pertanyaan dari teman-teman ya. Di sini ada pertanyaan dari Kak Serafika, Karunia, sama Kak Zahra. Ini kalau misalnya kita mau coba praktekin detailed reading, ada time limitnya atau ada tips tertentu nggak kalau misalnya kita mulai kehilangan konsentrasi di bagian reading ini? Again, tadi dari Mr. Ashley bilang, dari berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris yang disediakan itu kadang juga punya waktu time limit yang berbeda-beda. Dari Mr. Ashley tadi cerita kalau memang di bagian reading part itu atau satu ujian penuh bahasa Inggris itu teman-teman punya waktu 2 jam untuk mengerjakan hal itu. Biasanya kan sudah dibagi-bagi. 30 menit untuk listening, 40 menit untuk bagian apa, dan lain sebagainya. Kalau misalnya di bagian reading itu ternyata tersisa 40 menit biasanya, teman-teman harus bagi dari total pertanyaan yang ada di bagian reading part. Jadi dari situ, nanti kalau misalnya teman-teman udah bagi kira-kira satu pertanyaan itu kira-kira maksimal waktu yang dibutuhkan untuk mengerjakan satu soal itu berapa, langsung dikerjakan saja. Tapi kalau misalnya nanti ada bagian yang memang perlu detailed reading, baru teman-teman bisa mengalokasikan sisa waktunya teman-teman ketika teman-teman sudah melakukan skim atau scan di soal-soal yang lain. Jadi kalau misalnya ada 10 soal nih, 10 soal, soal 1 sampai 5 teman-teman bisa melakukan reading part itu untuk skim sama scan aja. Tapi ternyata ada 5 soal terakhir yang teman-teman harus baca detailed. Otomatis kalau misalnya teman-teman bisa mengerjakan lebih cepat di soal nomor 1 sama 5, sisa waktunya bisa teman-teman gunakan untuk mengerjakan soal-soal yang selanjutnya yang butuh detailed reading. Again, tidak ada batas waktu yang bisa ditentukan bagaimana teman-teman bisa mengatur detailed reading ini, tapi teman-teman sendiri yang membagi waktunya ketika teman-teman sudah mengetahui jatah waktu untuk mengerjakan soal-soal itu. Jadi yang disarankan sama Mr. Ashley adalah dibagi dulu waktunya teman-teman punya berapa untuk mengerjakan soal reading, ada berapa soal. Kalau memang teman-teman bisa melakukan skim and scan di beberapa soal langsung kerjakan, tapi kalau memang ada soal yang mengatakan di situ teman-teman harus detail reading, selesaikan dulu semuanya baru teman-teman bisa mengerjakan detail readingnya itu secara perlahan. Kalau ada waktu sisa, kembali lagi ke soal-soal yang teman-teman anggap itu susah, diperiksa lagi, detail reading terutama yang tadi dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley, dibaca lagi, terus diyakinkan lagi bahwa oke, jawaban aku sudah benar, baru teman-teman bisa beralih ke soal selanjutnya. Seperti itu. Semoga terjawab ya.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so for this, because obviously detailed reading can take a bit longer, we're not going to practice this in our seminar today.
Yeah.
But if the question asks you about the message, the tone, the meaning, you may need to spend more time identifying the answer correctly. Also, some tests, occasionally you have more marks for different questions. So you might need to prioritize. If this question is worth 4 marks, this one's worth 1 mark, then you might want to allow yourself more time for that section. And yeah, so I think.
Jadi untuk yang detail reading ini kita nggak praktik dulu ya teman-teman ya, karena memang ini akan butuh banyak sekali waktu untuk detail reading. Again, detail reading ini memang memerlukan waktu yang lebih panjang daripada skim dan scan. Biasanya memang diperlukan di beberapa pertanyaan-pertanyaan tertentu yang sering kali muncul itu kayak tadi. Misalnya bagaimana perasaan penulis ketika membuat bacaan ini, bagaimana situasi penulis ketika membuat bacaan ini dan sebagainya. Itu teman-teman butuh detailed reading. Tapi again, bagaimana teman-teman bisa membagi waktu ketika mengerjakan tes-tes bahasa Inggris yang teman-teman hadapi. Jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman sudah sambil jalan, biasanya kalau dari Mr. Ashley tadi bilang di total dulu secara keseluruhan jumlah soalnya berapa, waktu yang teman-teman punya berapa, tinggal dibagi maksimal waktu satu soalnya berapa. Kalau ternyata teman-teman menemukan di situ ada detailed reading, boleh di skip dulu untuk mengerjakan soal-soal yang lebih gampang, habis itu kembali lagi untuk mengerjakan detailed reading dengan sisa waktu yang teman-teman punya. Itu akan lebih efisien untuk dikerjakan lagi.
And one extra thing as well, if you get to a question and you find yourself spending too much time on it because you don't know the answer, you're finding it difficult, you can always skip that question, go to the next one. But remember to come back to it later, so you don't spend all your time trying to find one answer for a question. Yeah.
Okay.
Come back to it later.
Oke. Jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman menemukan satu soal yang sulit banget, stuck misalnya di satu nomor itu, aku nggak bisa ngerjain ini, jangan berhenti di situ. Skip aja langsung, kerjakan soal-soal yang lain sampai yang teman-teman bisa ngerjakan semua. Nanti kalau misalnya ada sisa waktu, pasti ada sisa waktu, karena kalau misalnya teman-teman stuck di satu nomor aja, terus soal-soal yang lagi dikerjakan, otomatis akan ketinggalan banyak soal dibandingkan teman-teman nge-skip satu soal. Tapi bukan berarti itu diperbolehkan ya. Jadi ketika sudah skip, kerjakan soal yang lebih mudah, nanti balik lagi ke soal itu dengan sisa waktu yang teman-teman punya.
Okay. So, skim reading, scanning, detailed reading.
Detailed reading.
Okay. Right, guys, in the chat box, we've got the 3 types of reading and 3 definitions.
Ya.
Can you write to us in the chat box which one, 1B, 2A, whatever you think the answers are?
Untuk nge-summarize lagi nih pengetahuannya teman-teman, silakan dari PowerPoint yang teman-teman lihat di layar itu, kira-kira pengertian dari skim, scan, dan detailed reading ini yang sesuai apa? 1A atau 1C, 2B atau 2A, 3B atau 3C? Silakan ditulis. Untuk mengetahui sejauh mana teman-teman memahami apa yang sudah disampaikan sama Mr. Ashley terkait reading skills yang sudah disampaikan, sebelum kita beralih ke 8 steps yang akan teman-teman gunakan untuk meningkatkan skor di reading part. 1C, 2A, 3B. 1C, 2A, 3B. 1C, 2A, 3B.
Well, that sounds pretty decisive, yeah? Let's have a look. So, yes, skim reading, we've got 1C. Getting the general meaning, of course, yes. Scanning, 2A, looking for specific information. And then 3B, understanding concepts and ideas. Yes. All right.
Okay, let's continue.
Let's continue. So that's skim reading, scanning, and detailed reading. So now we know how to use those, or we've looked at those. It's time to look at the 8-step reading strategy. Okay. Mr. Farad, you going to tell us what it is?
You know about it.
All right, okay. So let's look step 1. And this sometimes gets overlooked, or people don't focus on this, yeah? So it's important to read the instructions, the title, and the subheading. That might sound obvious, but if you don't read the question or the instructions carefully, then you can make mistakes. I see it all the time where maybe people answer the question in a wrong way.
Ini step pertama ya teman-teman ya, yang perlu diperhatikan adalah read the instructions atau soalnya, title, and the subheading. Ini ditekankan sama Mr. Ashley. Biasanya orang-orang tuh menyepelekan isi dari soal, title sama subheading. Heading. Ya.
Yes, heading.
Itu biasa. Jadi fokus ke bacaan yang panjang tapi melewatkan title dan subheadingnya itu sendiri.
Yeah. So we're going to show an example of this now. Now, if you cannot see the text clearly, you will be receiving a copy of this anyway,
Yes.
so you can see it clearly. So can you let everyone know that, Farid? Yeah.
Oke.
So here, this is a bit small, yeah? We're going to zoom in a minute, but if you can't see it, don't worry, because you'll be able to access it later. Yes, Farid?
Ya, jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman ngelihat ini agak nggak jelas di layarnya teman-teman, jangan khawatir, nanti di akhir acara saya akan jelaskan, teman-teman akan mendapatkan contoh soal ini untuk dikerjakan nanti ya di rumah ya, untuk latihan di rumah. Tapi ini hanya contoh saja untuk penjelasannya Mr. Ashley, jadi jangan khawatir.
Yeah, so don't worry, you will be able to get a clear version of this later. Mr. Farid will tell you how. So, okay, here we've got a task. Okay, so on the left side, we've got the questions. On the right side, we've got the text. So we've got instructions, the title,
And the subheading.
Okay, so let's zoom into those and have a look. So we've got our instructions here. Now, for this task, you need to choose sections A to D, not A to Z. The sections may be chosen more than once. So, can I use paragraph A 3 times?
Yes.
Yes, you can. So, by reading the instructions carefully, you know exactly. Sometimes the question might say you can only use them once. And if you use them 3 times, of course, you're going to get some wrong, yeah?
Oke, jadi ini contoh kecil terkait instructions ya teman-teman ya. Kalau di situ sudah dikasih highlight sama Mr. Ashley bahwa the sections may be chosen more than once. Jadi teman-teman bisa menggunakan pilihan A sampai D itu lebih dari 1 kali. Kalau misalnya teman-teman gak hati-hati, biasanya itu ada instructions yang bilang bahwa the sections may be chosen only once.
Maybe chosen only once. Yeah, sometimes it says that.
Sometimes ya. Jadi kadang-kadang itu cuma bisa digunakan 1 kali. Kalau misalnya teman-teman gunain 2 kali, berarti teman-teman udah completely wrong. Tapi yang kali ini teman-teman bisa menggunakan itu lebih dari 1 kali.
Or sometimes it says one of the answers will not be used.
Okay.
And if you don't read that, you could be like, oh, where does this one go? But one of them they're not being used. So.
Oke, jadi kadang juga ada instructions yang salah satu dari jawabannya itu tidak digunakan untuk menjawab pertanyaan. Jadi again, harus dibaca hati-hati untuk instructions-nya.
Yeah, so check what you can and can't do.
Okay.
Don't fall at the first hurdle. If you don't read the instructions carefully, you know, you're going to find it difficult to get the answers correct.
Dicek ya apa yang boleh dan tidak boleh dilakukan. Dan ini yang sudah muncul di teman-teman layar teman-teman adalah tentang title dan subheading ya.
Yeah, so next we've got the title and the subheading. Okay, so we've got title, Rising Star, subheading, Margaret Garreley goes to meet Duncan Williams, who plays for Chelsea Football Club. Okay, so Farid, what do you think this is about?
A football club?
Football club? Yes, so we've got Chelsea.
You know I don't like a football club, so I don't know about this one. No.
So, someone who plays for Chelsea Football Club. So, Duncan Williams, who do you think Duncan Williams is? Is that the reporter or the footballer?
The football one.
Yes, the footballer, yes. And then you've got Margaret Garreley, who's probably the
athlete? Or what was that? The writer?
The writer, yes.
Okay.
The writer. Good, okay. All right. So we've already looked at this. This is important so we can start to imagine, like we did with the picture before, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're talking about a footballer. Now, a rising star, that means someone that's on an upward trajectory. So someone that's maybe very talented, but not yet super popular.
Yeah.
So if you have like football, Ronaldo is already one of the best, best. And then you've got maybe younger footballers who are hopefully going to get as popular or as good as him.
Okay.
Okay, so we've looked at the instructions, read the heading, we've read the
title. And
read the title, we've read the subheading. Yes. Thank you, Barry. Okay, good. So we're in the mindset. We know what this is going to be about. So step 1, done. Step 2. Okay, skim read the text to get the general idea. So we've already practiced this.
Okay.
So skim reading is important because
you need to get the general idea.
General idea, yeah, and it can help you.
It can help you to find the general idea.
It can, yes, it can. It can help you get the general idea, but then later you might go, "Oh, I read about this in this paragraph." So
Find
you're-
the specific things.
yeah, yeah. So it's going to help you locate things later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here, our text, is it on the left or the right, Farid?
Right.
The right. Okay, so let's go into this. Our text here.
Oke,
Oke.
nggak perlu khawatir ya teman-teman ya untuk contoh teksnya kalau misalnya terlihat kurang jelas nanti teman-teman akan mendapatkan contoh salinan soalnya ini untuk digunakan latihan setelah acara ini selesai. Tadi tips yang pertama teman-teman baca dulu terkait instructions, title and subheading jadi tahu gambarannya bahwa bacaan ini akan membicarakan tentang apa. Setelah tahu secara general teksnya ini akan menceritakan tentang apa, teman-teman again bisa balik lagi ke salah satu skills yang sudah dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley, yaitu skim reading.
That's right. So skim reading. So we're not going to do this right now because it will take us a bit of time.
Yes.
But we've already practiced that. So skim read to get the general idea. So read quickly. If you have very little time, you can read the first sentence and last sentence of the paragraph to go, okay, this is what this one's about. What this one's about. Now, paragraphs, do they normally have a similar topic or a different topic in them?
Different.
Okay, so each paragraph, they normally what we call chunking into different sections. So the information in there will be different to other paragraphs, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, skim read. So let's just say we've skim read that. That would maybe take 2 minutes, I guess.
2 minutes,
yeah. I'd say.
2-3 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Oke, jadi step kedua ini skim again itu perlu karena memang di sini ada 4 paragraf yang teman-teman tahu itu panjang banget. Kalau misalnya dengan waktu 20 menit untuk mengerjakan misalnya 35 soal, teman-teman akan habis di sini. Jadi skim reading ini membantu teman-teman untuk menemukan bahwa paragraf 1 itu membahas apa hanya dengan membaca kalimat awal dan kalimat terakhirnya dan itu terus diulangin untuk bagian A, B, C, dan D. Otomatis teman-teman ketika membaca soal yang keluar untuk menjawab berbagai macam jawabannya itu teman-teman udah tahu oke pertanyaan ini tuh related sama bacaan yang ada di paragraf ini. Jadi teman-teman hanya akan membaca ulang di paragraf itu saja, tidak perlu membaca kalimat kata-katanya itu penuh secara dari A, B, C, dan D. Again, skim reading ini sangat penting teman-teman lakukan untuk mengetahui general idea setiap paragraf dan teman-teman juga bisa menemukan poin-poin tiap paragraf itu membahas apa karena setiap paragraf itu yang dibahas berbeda.
Okay. So, what have we not done yet? This is a reading test, right? Reading question.
Yes.
What have we not looked at yet?
What's that?
All right, so if you have a reading test, you have reading text, yeah, the text. But we also have some, what do we need to answer?
Answer sheet? Nope.
We do need an answer sheet, but we need an answer sheet to answer the
Questions.
The questions, that's right.
My God, yeah, okay.
Have we even looked at the questions yet?
Not yet.
No, we haven't. So we've not even touched the questions. We've just read the text to try and understand what it's about. So when we haven't jumped into the questions yet, which is what we do in step 3.
Okay.
So step 3, read the activity or questions and highlight keywords. And keywords are...
Important words.
That's right, Farhan. Well remembered, see? He's learning.
Smart of the day. Oke, step ketiga ya teman-teman ya. Dari step yang pertama, instructions, title, and subheading. Lalu skim read the text, all of the text. Kamu tahu general ideas-nya itu membahas tentang apa per paragraf. Yang ketiga, baru membaca activity atau questions-nya dan highlight dari keywords-nya. Atau kata-kata penting yang teman-teman perlu garis bawahi di setiap pertanyaan itu.
Okay. All right, so if we look at this on the big screen again. So our questions, are they on the left or the right?
Left.
On the left, that's right. Okay, so our questions on the left. Okay, so here we're going to start highlighting keywords, okay?
Okay.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 questions, yeah? We're not going to do all 10.
Yeah.
Just gonna look at a few of them.
Okay.
So let's see. In question 1, it says, well, each question, which paragraph, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So which paragraph states how surprised the writer was at Duncan's early difficulties? Now, what do you think the keywords are in that first one?
Duncan's early difficulties.
Okay, good. That's definitely important. And something else?
Surprised.
Surprised. Okay, so surprised, early difficulties, and... who was surprised, Farid? How surprised
Duncan's.
who was?
No. The writers?
The writer, that's right.
Okay.
So the writer, how surprised the writer was at Duncan's early difficulties. So we're looking at how surprised. The person who was surprised is the writer, yeah?
Yes.
And then we're looking at early difficulties, okay? And Duncan is the footballer.
Yep.
Okay, let's look at number 2. So we've got, says that Duncan, what do you think the keywords in here could be, Farid?
Much more mature than he really is.
Perfect, there we go, yes. So which paragraph is focused on Duncan and how he's much more mature than he is, okay? Frustration felt by
Duncan's father.
That's right. So why is it important we highlight Duncan's father?
Yeah, because that's important.
Yeah, because we need to know who is feeling the frustration, yeah?
Okay.
Maybe in parts of the text, maybe Duncan is feeling frustrated, but that's not what we want. We want Duncan's father being frustrated. So it's important we know the subject. All right, let's do a couple more. So 46 says that Duncan is on course to reach a high point in his profession. Should we ask?
Oh, sure.
let's ask
Okay,
them, actually.
yeah,
Okay.
sure. Oke, di pertanyaan yang keempat, kalau misalnya teman-teman di sini ada beberapa teman-teman yang bisa melihat dengan jelas pertanyaannya seperti apa, boleh dibantu full screen lagi saja, teman-teman. Kira-kira keyword atau kata-kata penting apa yang
Number 46.
teman-teman temukan di pertanyaan keempat?
46.
Ya, 46.
Yes. Okay.
Says that Duncan is on course to reach a high point in his profession.
Yeah.
Kira-kira highlightnya apa nih yang teman-teman temukan dari pertanyaan ke-46? Kita coba mau tahu nih teman-teman bisa nggak ngasih highlight itu untuk menemukan di paragraf mana nanti jawabannya seperti apa. Silahkan ditulis di chat box. Pertanyaan yang ke-46 aja ya teman-teman ya. We got one. High point and profession.
Okay, good.
Reach a high point in high profession.
Next typo, yeah. In his profession, yeah. So of course we've got. So if we look here, so we've got Duncan. Yeah. Now on course. That's going to be important as well.
Okay.
And like you said, yeah, reach a
high point in his profession.
Yeah, so even though it looks like we're underlining most of the sentence, it's still important so we can focus on what the question is asking. It helps us to identify that.
Okay.
Okay, and finally, how about 47, guys? One more.
Oke, satu kali lagi ya teman-teman ya. Sekarang ke pertanyaan yang ke nomor 47. Suggest that Duncan caught up with his teammates in terms of physical development. Kira-kira yang mana ya yang penting ya? Ke pertanyaan nomor 47 sekarang. Physical development.
Yes, definitely. That's an important part of that.
Duncan in terms of physical development.
Okay, so we've got, Duncan.
Duncan caught up. Oh,
Thanks,
okay.
Yeah. Now, if you don't highlight all these, it's okay.
Okay.
What you're doing here is trying to identify important information. So it doesn't matter if you're underlining all the words, specific words. It's just helping you to focus on what the question's really asking. That's why we do it.
Oke, jadi again nggak masalah ya kalau misalnya teman-teman tidak menggarisbawahi kata-kata penting yang di situ, tapi again poinnya di sini sama seperti yang dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley, teman-teman sudah paham kira-kira pertanyaannya itu fokusnya ke apa sih gitu. Jadi makanya itu akan mempermudah teman-teman untuk menemukan bacaan-bacaan yang lebih sesuai ke pertanyaan yang ditanyakan. Itu saja.
That's right. Okay.
Yep.
So we would do that for all the questions, yeah? That's enough for now. So we've highlighted the keywords. And next, for each question, we scan and highlight the relevant part of the text.
Okay.
So relevant part means the area we're focusing on, yeah? The part which is connected to the question.
Jadi kalau misalnya tadi di step yang ketiga teman-teman sudah tahu nih question sama highlight keywordnya. Sekarang setiap pertanyaan itu teman-teman scan dan highlight the relevant part of the text. Jadi sudah tahu keywordnya mana dari pertanyaan, teman-teman tinggal menyesuaikan yang sudah teman-teman highlight dari pertanyaan itu ke teks yang teman-teman perlu temukan untuk dijawab dari pertanyaannya itu.
Yeah, so we've looked at our questions. We know what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So if we go to full screen here, Okay, again, don't worry if if you can't read it clearly. We'll explain it to you, and you can try later with the same text. Okay.
Yeah.
So our first question: which paragraph states how surprised the writer was at Duncan's early difficulties? Okay, so we've got 3 things to look for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for something that says surprise.
The writer.
Something about the writer, and they're surprised at early difficulties. Okay. So here in the green. If you can't, we'll say it for you. So we've got in paragraph A, it says early teenage years. And in paragraph B, it says 14 years old.
Okay.
And they are both connected to what in the question there, Farid? Looking question, is it blue, orange, or green?
Duncan's early difficulties.
That's right, yeah. Early difficulties. So early teenage years. Is that similar to early difficulties? Could be, right?
Yeah, could be.
14 years old, is that a young age?
Young age.
Yeah, so it could be one of those, right? Then we also need to find the writer. Okay, so the writer is the person who was surprised.
Yes.
Now, paragraph A, it says, it's my first time driving to Chelsea's training ground. Who is that?
The writers.
The writer, yeah? It's my first time. And who's the writer? If we remember right at the start, we looked at the subheading. The writer is?
Margaret.
Margaret, that's right. Okay, so paragraph A, saying it's my first time, so that's the writer. Paragraph B, so we've got 14 years old, and is it talking about the writer, or?
I don't think so.
No, who's it talking about? It says...
Gavin?
Gavin, that's right. So Gavin sent Duncan to clubs when he was young, yeah? When he was 14 years old. Okay. Our next keyword, how surprised. Okay. So looking at surprised in paragraph A, surprise. It was with some disbelief that you listened to him describing how his career was nearly all over. So disbelief is a synonym for surprised. Oh, really? Oh my goodness.
Oh,
so
okay.
disbelief and surprise are synonyms, yeah? And then in paragraph B, it says, I was still upset. So upset, surprise. Okay, they could be connected, right? Upset could be a negative surprise, yeah? All right, so we've highlighted there where these could be. Okay.
A.
We don't need to choose yet.
Oh, okay.
We'll choose in a minute, okay? What we've done is we've identified where this could be.
Okay.
All right. So now we need to read these areas we've highlighted to identify the possible answers. So, in this one, like you've just done, Farad, so we've got paragraph A, it's my first time. So that is who's my first time?
Writer.
Writer,
the
yeah.
writer, yeah.
And in B, it's
Gavin.
Gavin. Do you know who Gavin is? He's the...
He's the what?
He's the father. He's the father. Okay. Sorry, it's a bit difficult for him to see, I know. So Gavin is the father, okay. How surprised? So we see A and B, okay. No surprise in C or D because we already skim read and we couldn't find it. Early difficulty. So paragraph A, it says early teenage years. Paragraph B, 14 years old. Okay. So it's going to be in one of these 2 paragraphs.
Yes.
All right. We looked through C and D. Nothing about surprise or early difficulties. Okay. So we know it could be A, could be B. Which means we can eliminate the answers which are obviously wrong.
Okay.
What does eliminate mean?
Move one of the
In Bahasa, what does it mean in Bahasa? Eliminate.
Dihapus, pilih salah satu ya. Dipilih salah satu. Oke. Jadi dari part yang keempat, steps yang keempat, kalau teman-teman tahu, for each questions kita udah scan nih dan highlight dari bacaan-bacaan yang sudah kita baca tadi, kayak contohnya itu ada 4 paragraf tadi. Terus step yang kelima adalah teman-teman tahu harus baca teksnya itu dengan hati-hati untuk mengidentifikasi kemungkinan jawaban yang sudah sesuai dari pertanyaan yang sudah teman-teman temukan. Kayak tadi itu, again, hati-hati dengan sinonim dan antonim. Karena tadi kalau pertanyaannya itu, salah satu pertanyaannya tuh, was surprised, if I'm not mistaken. Ternyata di situ tidak disebutkan kata-kata surprise-nya itu tadi, tapi disbelief. Disbelief. Yang itu adalah sinonim dari surprised again. Jadi teman-teman tidak akan menemukan kok misalnya kok aku nggak nemuin kata-kata ini di 4 paragraf yang aku baca ya. Baca berkali-kali nggak ada. Again, kebutuhan vocabulary-nya teman-teman itu juga harus lebih besar lagi. Jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman udah paham sinonim dan antonimnya, otomatis teman-teman juga akan lebih mudah untuk menemukan bahwa oke, I found this gitu. Jadi tadi kemungkinannya hanya ada 2 paragraf nih, ada di 2 paragraf, di paragraf A dan paragraf B. Di mana yang pertama tadi kalau misalnya teman-teman tahu di situ menyebutkan dari sisi writernya, tapi di paragraf yang B itu menyebutkan dari sisi ayahnya. Tadi kalau bilangnya kayak gitu. Otomatis masuk ke step ke-6, kita tinggal mengeliminasi paragraf mana yang lebih sesuai dengan jawaban untuk pertanyaan yang kita baca tadi, seperti itu.
So let's try eliminating those, yeah?
Yes.
So if we go back to the full screen, so we've chosen, it's going to be A or B, we think. There's no, we don't see anything connected in C or D. So C, we're going to say
Wrong.
terong, or how do you say
Yeah.
it? Am I saying it correctly? Terong?
Terong? What is that? Terong.
How do you say it?
I don't know.
Terong.
Terong.
Yeah, that. There we go.
Terong.
Terong, yes.
Terong is a food.
I know terong is a vegetable, yeah?
Yeah.
I always say it wrong. Okay. Okay, so C, we're going to say we don't think it's in C. D,
You also know.
we don't think it's in D, okay?
Yeah.
So we have got rid of 2 options, which means our chances of getting it correct are
Yes.
even higher. Before we had 1 in 4 chance. Now we have a 1 in 2 chance.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just by doing that, by eliminating the wrong answers and making sure we don't use them, that is a big step in helping us to get the correct answer.
Okay.
It makes it twice as likely, if you do it this way, if there's 4 answers and you get rid of 2, you are twice as likely to get the correct answer.
Oke, jadi ini dengan begitu akhirnya kalau misalnya teman-teman udah tahu nih kayak tadi di step pertama teman-teman tahu dari baca title dan subheadingnya, terus teman-teman melakukan skim untuk semua paragraf, teman-teman tahu poin-poin apa yang dibahas di masing-masing paragrafnya, otomatis teman-teman juga akan lebih mudah untuk menemukan. Lihat aja ini, kalau misalnya teman-teman kelihatan ya yang dikasih highlight sama Mr. Ashley adalah rata-rata ada di kalimat pertama dan kalimat terakhir setiap paragraf. Jadi dari situ akhirnya teman-teman tahu paragraf A, B, C, D itu bahasannya apa dan teman-teman tinggal lari aja. Oke, pertanyaan pertama nomor 43 ini lebih ke paragraf A atau B ya. Aku tinggal baca A sama B karena di C sama D udah jelas nggak ada. Jadi teman-teman udah nggak melakukan pembacaan skim dan scan di paragraf C dan D. Otomatis itu tinggal di-eliminate. Sisa paragraf A sama B sekarang tinggal disesuaikan. Again, teman-teman bisa pakai antara sinonim dan antonim itu tadi. Makanya di situ ada namanya disbelief, di mana teman-teman nggak akan menemukan kata-kata surprise di situ, baik itu di paragraf A atau B. Kalau teman-teman udah paham, ya udah gampang aja. Teman-teman udah tinggal bisa pilih jawabannya yang benar antara A atau yang B, begitu.
Yeah, and this can be really helpful on questions you don't know. If you really don't know the answer, and that happens sometimes, right? It can be a really useful strategy to do it the other way. Go, okay, I don't know which one's correct, but I know which one's wrong. I know it can't be this. It doesn't sound like this at all. So we start eliminating those answers so that you start to get to, okay, it's one of these 2, one of these 3. So if you do have to pick, if you really are not sure, even after trying to analyze it, you're still improving your chances of getting that answer correct.
Oke, ini another tips ya dari Mr. Ashil. Kalau misalnya teman-teman kesulitan untuk menemukan mana yang benar lebih cepat, tapi teman-teman tahu mana yang lebih salah duluan, pilih dulu yang salah. Jadi buang dulu yang salah semuanya, tinggal sampai beberapa kesempatan dari 4 akhirnya teman-teman nemuin 2 chances jawabnya betul. Terus teman-teman masih nggak yakin, again teman-teman masih punya waktu untuk improving ya. Jadi teman-teman masih punya waktu untuk bisa dijawab lebih dulu atau bisa ke pertanyaan yang lain dulu sampai akhirnya nanti balik diidentifikasi lagi. Tapi kalau misalnya kesulitan untuk menemukan mana jawaban yang lebih benar lebih dulu, yang salah buang dulu sampai akhirnya tersisa mana teman-teman yang yakin untuk dijawab sampai akhirnya diletakkan di lembar jawabannya teman-teman yang teman-teman yakin itu jawabannya paling betul, begitu.
Yeah, so elimination really helps because if you're taking a random guess,
Yes.
if you really don't know the answer, random guess, well, you're more likely to hit it if you've got 2 targets than 4 targets or 10 targets, yeah?
Yeah.
So really use that as a really useful tip.
Oke.
Okay, before we continue, Farid,
Yes.
we choose our correct answer.
Ya.
It's over to you.
Oke. Sebelum kita lanjut ke tips yang nomor 7 sama nomor 8 ya teman-teman ya, seperti biasa saya akan coba sampaikan bahwa teman-teman yang sudah mendaftar dari sekolah kemarin, teman-teman akan mendapatkan kesempatan yang sama untuk melakukan tes kemampuan bahasa Inggris secara gratis. Kira-kira dari kemampuan teman-teman ini antara grammar atau speakingnya yang kurang, teman-teman nanti akan dihubungi oleh tim IF untuk mendapatkan dan dijadwalkan langsung untuk mendapatkan tes gratisnya. Tapi untuk Bapak Ibu dan semua peserta yang lain hadir di luar dari sekolah nih, Bapak dan Ibu juga bisa mendaftarkan putra-putrinya untuk berkonsultasi langsung dengan kita untuk mengetahui kemampuan bahasa Inggrisnya. Again, kira-kira antara kemampuan grammar atau speakingnya yang kurang ya, nanti tinggal WhatsApp saja di 0822 2000 dengan format nama spasi usia. Sekali lagi, nama spasi usia silakan WhatsApp di 0822 2000. Nanti akan ada tim dari course consultant kita yang menghubungi Bapak dan Ibu untuk putra-putrinya dijadwalkan kira-kira untuk mengidentifikasi dan konsultasi dengan guru kita langsung terkait kemampuan bahasa Inggrisnya. Nah, nanti kalau misalnya setelah konsultasi nih cocok dengan program-program dari IF atau teman-teman dari sekolah ini berkesempatan untuk join dengan kita, ada promo khusus untuk hari ini, yaitu teman-teman bisa mendapatkan ekstra diskon tambahan senilai 500.000 di luar dari diskon yang sudah ada dari bulan ini. Jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman atau Bapak dan Ibu berniat untuk mendaftarkan putra-putrinya, langsung saja WhatsApp di 0822 2000 khusus untuk 5 nama pertama saja hari ini, teman-teman atau Bapak dan Ibu bisa mendapatkan diskon tambahan senilai Rp500.000 untuk langsung join di kelas-kelas IF yang sedang berjalan saat ini. Dan selain itu kami sampaikan juga bahwa seperti biasa di setiap Sabtu bulan depan kita akan ada online seminar tanggal 10 April yang akan membahas tentang bagaimana gadget dan sosial media itu mengubah kita semua. Baik itu dari sisi negatif dan sisi positifnya. Ini kalau misalnya teman-teman dari sekolah ini misalnya mau coba join lagi, teman-teman juga boleh join. Biasanya kalau misalnya dari antara gadget sama sosmed itu kan kadang teman-teman ngerasa insecure antara satu teman dengan teman-teman yang lain. Kenapa dia bisa lebih populer, kenapa likes-nya dia bisa lebih banyak dan sebagainya. Itu sebetulnya hal yang bagus atau enggak sih yang kayak gitu. Dan Bapak dan Ibu juga bisa langsung join nanti di seminar kita. Nanti untuk link pendaftarannya akan kita sampaikan melalui kolom chat box. Ini akan terjadi di tanggal 10 April mendatang dan teman-teman bisa langsung daftar hari ini setelah acara ini selesai. Selain itu, nanti setelah acaranya selesai, teman-teman akan mendapatkan link survei yang perlu diisi untuk meningkatkan kegiatan kita ke depannya. Ataupun nanti kalau misalnya teman-teman punya materi-materi lain yang mau kita angkat untuk menjadi topik pembahasan kita selanjutnya, teman-teman juga bisa disampaikan di link survei yang akan kita kirimkan di chatbox nanti. Plus, seperti yang dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley tadi, contoh soal dan teksnya tadi teman-teman bisa mendapatkan setelah teman-teman mengisi link survei. Jadi kalau misalnya nanti setelah acara ini selesai, teman-teman mengisi link surveinya, setelah itu teman-teman akan diarahkan ke link untuk mendownload contoh soal untuk dikerjakan. Jadi nanti teman-teman bisa langsung mengerjakan contoh soal yang tadi sudah dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley untuk dikerjakan di rumah. Jadi setelah acaranya selesai, jangan lupa untuk ngisi link surveinya, karena setelah teman-teman mengisi link survei itu, teman-teman akan diarahkan untuk mendownload contoh soal yang sudah dijelaskan oleh Mr. Ashley tadi. Oke, go back to you Mr. Ashley to step number 7 and 8.
Step number 7, step number 8. Okay, so we've just done our elimination.
Yes.
Our elimination is done. So, just put myself on the screen. Okay. So we've eliminated. So we've gone step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
6.
So now, how many options do we have left?
For the
we had 4 options. We're down to
2.
2. Okay. All right. So if we can bring on the screen. So let's see. Step number 7. What do you think step number 7 will be?
Choosing the right answer.
Choosing the right answer. Okay. So we've got A and B left. So.
Oke, hold on. Again ya teman-teman, kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang mau teman-teman sampaikan nih sebelum nanti disampaikan step yang terakhir, teman-teman boleh menanyakan kayak tadi misalnya langsung menyela aja nggak apa-apa. Jadi silakan ditulis di chat box. Nanti kita akan langsung bahas kira-kira pertanyaan itu jawabannya seperti apa dari Mr. Ashley juga. Oke, boleh ditampilkan lagi untuk PowerPoint-nya. Kita langsung kembali di step nomor 7 sama nomor 8 ya. Kalau tadi sudah tersisa 2 jawaban untuk A dan B.
Well, okay, while we're getting up on screen, so can you remember which one you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be A or B?
A.
You think A? Okay, why do you think A though, Farid?
Because I saw the synonyms there.
You saw the synonyms. Okay, you saw the synonyms, and there we go. So, step number 7. Got to choose the answer which is most likely. All right.
Most likely.
Okay, most likely. Oh, the answer which is correct, yes. So you think it's A. So why do you think A?
Again,
You've got the
because
synonyms, like you said, surprised and disbelief.
belief,
Okay.
and then those paragraphs represent the writer.
Ah, there we go. So that's the main thing in here, yeah?
Yeah.
We've got maybe two people that might be a bit surprised.
Yes.
We've got two paragraphs talking about early years, early difficulties, but only one of them is about the writer,
Yeah.
which is why we would choose
A.
the writer. It's my first time, so most likely it's going to be A. Okay.
Okay.
So we've gone through a process of making our answers small, our options smaller until we decide, oh, okay, this is the one I choose.
Oke, jadi optionnya diperkecil ya teman-teman ya. Mungkin secara praktek untuk mengerjakan ini waktunya memang terasa lebih panjang. Tapi kalau misalnya nanti teman-teman mencoba untuk mempraktekkan mengerjakan ini, hopefully teman-teman akan punya waktu yang lebih singkat daripada harus membaca berulang kali keempat paragraf ini. Again, jangan lupa untuk mempraktekkan 3 skill reading ketika teman-teman mencoba untuk mengerjakan soal ini, di mana teman-teman sudah bisa melakukan skim, scan, dan detailed reading jika diperlukan untuk detailed reading. Oke, teman-teman. Dan jawabannya kali ini adalah yang betul A, karena di paragraf A di situ dijelaskan tentang sisi writernya. Again, karena di situ juga ada sinonimnya jelas. Yang B itu lebih menunjukkan ke sisi ayahnya, otomatis B sudah jelas tidak dijadikan sebagai jawaban yang betul.
Okay. So that's step 7. Finally, step 8. Simply leave the difficult questions until later. So if you start to look at a question and you really find it difficult to identify where this information is, and you're spending too long on it, then just skip it, go to the next question, but remember to come back to complete it later. Don't spend all your time on one question. Realize or think about how much time you have left in your test, and go back to it later so that you don't spend too much time on one question.
Dan seperti yang dijelaskan sama Mr. Ashley tadi di depan ya, untuk membagi waktu bagaimana teman-teman bisa mengerjakan soal reading ini lebih santai dan lebih berkonsentrasi. Kalau misalnya teman-teman merasa di satu soal itu baca pertama kali udah ngelihat aku udah mulai kesulitan di menit pertama untuk menemukan jawabannya, langsung skip. Skip, beralih ke soal selanjutnya sampai teman-teman bisa mengerjakan soal-soal yang lain. Otomatis kalau misalnya teman-teman melakukan hal itu, sisa waktu yang teman-teman miliki akan lebih banyak daripada stuck di satu soal yang sama, tapi again berulang kali tidak menemukan jawaban yang tepat. Otomatis teman-teman akan membuang banyak waktu hanya di satu soal, tapi menyisihkan banyak soal untuk itu. Jadi kalau bisa, kalau memang itu kesulitan, leave the difficult questions until later, tapi jangan lupa untuk kembali lagi mengerjakan sebisa mungkin teman-teman mengerjakan untuk menemukan jawaban dan identifying. Jawaban yang tepat dari pertanyaan yang dirasa teman-teman itu sulit, seperti itu.
Yeah, just to clarify about that number 8, so leaving difficult questions until later doesn't mean just skip them straight away.
Yeah.
But I mean that if you're finding it difficult to answer that question and you're spending too much time on it, then come back later. So try it first, of course. Try to find the answer, but then if you spend too much time.
Ya, again, bukan berarti ditinggalin gitu aja teman-teman ya, itu tidak disarankan, tapi lebih ke cari pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang lebih mudah untuk dikerjakan daripada stuck di satu soal yang sama dengan waktu yang lebih panjang. Itu aja dari Mr. Ashley.
Okay, so those are 8 steps. So let's try it again with one more question, okay?
Okay.
So let's pretend, so for number 1, 2, and 3, we've already done this, yeah? We've read the instructions, we know the title, subheading, we've already skim read the text,
Yeah.
and we've already highlighted keywords. We've done all that, so we can go straight to number 4. So for each question, scan and highlight the relevant part of the text. So let's see, question number 2, or question 44,
Yeah.
this example. So our keywords are
Says that Duncan sometimes.
Duncan and seems more mature than he really is. Okay. Okay, so more mature. Do you know what maturity is? If someone is more mature?
You are more mature than me.
In what way? Possibly, yes. So
Okay.
mature is normally older.
Okay.
But it can also mean about their attitude, yeah? So if someone seems mature, maybe a 5-year-old who does all their homework, is very well behaved, and another 5-year-old who runs around the house, doesn't do any work, any schoolwork, you might say student A is more mature, right? Because they seem to be older in their mentality.
Okay.
And we're talking about Duncan again. Duncan this time, not the writer, Duncan. Okay. So let's see. In the text, again, you might not be able to see this. It's okay. You'll be able to see this later on when you download it. So we've got Duncan undoubtedly took the right path. Okay. In paragraph A. Paragraph C. Imagine what you will be like when you are 17. Okay. Could be talking about maturity. Paragraph D. He is an old head on young shoulders. Okay. So I've identified 3 sentences which could talk about him being more mature. They're kind of related, yeah. But not sure which one it is yet.
Yeah.
So A, C, or D. Okay. So that means B, I don't
now.
think it's in B.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get rid of B. B.
Completely wrong.
Completely wrong. Dead on. B is gone, all right? So it leaves A, C, and D. So what do we do next? We have to read carefully, right? So let's read through these. However, Duncan undoubtedly took the right path. Okay. If you can see that, imagine what you will be like when you're 17. So in A, Duncan undoubtedly took the right path. Is that talking about maturity or a choice? What do you think, Farid? Take the right path.
It's a choice.
A choice, yeah. So sometimes choices can be connected to maturity, but this is more talking about choice. Okay.
Yes.
How about? So I'm gonna say A, maybe not A. Okay. Then we've got C. So much more mature than he really is. Look, if you can do that now, imagine what you will be like when you're 17 or 18. Is that talking about maturity now? No, it's not.
Oh no.
It's talking about in the future. Oh, in the
Okay.
future you could be like this. So I think maybe it's not going to be C. And then D, he is an old head on young shoulders. Dare I ask, Farah, what do you think that means? An old head on young shoulders. It's a tricky one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So your shoulders, let's say your body.
Yes.
Yeah. So young body, old head. What do you think that might mean?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
How would you describe that? In their head, they are
Mature.
mature, yeah. Good. But their body
is young.
yeah. So
Younger,
physically,
yeah.
they are still young,
Yeah.
but mentally, they are maybe wiser or more mature. Yes. So that's why we would choose D, yeah?
Okay.
So through that process, we've managed to eliminate the answers we think are wrong and come to an answer which you think is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's using the 8 steps and how to, because when we're looking at a test like this, okay, so this is a B2 level test. So
Okay.
it's a sort of upper intermediate test.
Okay.
Now, when you open a test like this, it might be a bit overwhelming. Yeah, you go, oh my goodness, I have all this text, all these instructions. The language seems complicated. You know, it can be quite tricky and a bit, daunting. Where you're a bit worried about it, you're a bit overwhelmed. But if you start to methodically, or using a strategy, a plan, to identify the key words, do all the things we just said. In fact, I'll put it on the screen now, if that's okay. Can we put it on there? So these 8 steps, if you use these 8 steps when you're looking at a question or a reading exam, you can start to slowly find your way to the answer. You don't need to know the answer straight away. You can start to, carve out, okay, I understand what it's about. I know that I've skim read. Of course, check the instructions first. So let's go through them one more time. So first thing, read the instructions carefully. Check the title.
Yeah.
Check the subheading. Because?
To get the general ideas? Nope.
Instructions. Why do we check the instructions carefully?
Because that is important.
Because it's important. It is. So we don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
So we know exactly what the task is.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say that for number 1? Translate number 1.
Again ya teman-teman, read the instructions, title and subheading again buat tahu betul-betul apa aja yang perlu teman-teman kerjakan untuk bagian teksnya itu, karena memang teksnya panjang. Jadi yang nomor 1 ini juga harus lebih diperhatikan untuk instructionsnya.
Part 2, skim read the text because
to find the general ideas.
General idea, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
skim text nomor 2, and then number 3.
Number 3, highlight keywords and questions.
Menemukan kata-kata penting ya di pertanyaannya. Again teman-teman, jadi tetap bisa melakukan skim selain di teks tapi juga di pertanyaannya, tapi menggunakan keyword yang memang perlu teman-teman highlight untuk ditemukan di bacaannya.
Yeah, so we know exactly what we're being asked to find, yeah? And to help us focus. Okay, next. Number 4, scan the text and highlight the areas. So, okay, this question is somewhere in here. This question is somewhere in here, I think. Or scanning to find, okay, this is a synonym, this is an antonym, you know, trying to find where this could be.
Oke, jadi nomor 3 sama 4 ini korelasinya tinggi ya teman-teman ya. Jadi ketika sudah teman-teman temukan keywordnya seperti apa, tinggal di scan teksnya aja dan highlight itu ada di paragraf berapa. Nanti teman-teman tinggal identifying dari yang teman-teman highlight. Dan ini relate dengan steps yang nomor 5.
So it depends on the exam. In our first example, we had true or false, yeah?
Yes.
So we knew that, the answer is somewhere in here.
Yeah.
But for our other example, it was choosing the correct paragraph. So there's probably more than one paragraph with similar information. So you might need to just find where this information could be.
Okay.
Then 5. So we've highlighted. Then we read carefully to try and understand further. Does this match the keywords in our questions? Are the antonyms, synonyms? Is the subject the same? Then, after we've done that, we've done our research, okay? We start eliminating wrong answers to improve our... Why do we eliminate the other ones, the wrong ones?
To improve our answer.
To improve our chances. That's right, Farry. To improve our chances. So we start to get rid of the wrong answers, or the ones we think are wrong, so we have a better chance of getting it correct. Next, choose the most likely answer. Okay. So we're down to like 2 or 3 options. I think it's this one. Try to think because as well. Why did I choose this answer? Oh, I chose this answer because it talks about the writer, talks about surprise, talks about him being young. Okay. That, that makes sense, yeah? So that's why I'm choosing that answer. And finally, leave the tricky questions and answers to later. So if you're having trouble on one question, spending too much time, skip it, but remember to come back later. Okay, and those are the 8 steps.
Oke, jadi lebih berhati-hati ya teman-teman ya dari tadi, dari untuk yang step yang ke-5, 6, 7, dan 8 ketika sudah memberikan highlight dari bacaan yang sudah teman-teman pilih, terus akhirnya harus membaca lebih berhati-hati lagi, terus eliminate, pilih beberapa jawaban yang memang sudah sesuai dengan apa yang sudah teman-teman identify, lalu pilih jawaban yang memang menurut teman-teman itu sesuai sampai akhirnya leave a tricky questions. Jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman merasa stuck di satu pertanyaan itu, tolong jangan berhenti di situ tapi beralih ke soal-soal lain yang memang lebih mudah untuk dikerjakan. At the end, kalau misalnya teman-teman sudah mengerjakan soal-soal yang lebih mudah, otomatis teman-teman juga akan memiliki banyak waktu yang tersisa untuk kembali lagi ke soal yang lebih sulit dan lebih punya banyak waktu lagi untuk dikerjakan dan untuk memilih kira-kira ini sudah sesuai atau betul, gitu ya.
Yeah. So those are the 8 steps, guys. I hope that's helpful. And now it's your turn. Okay. Of course, doing reading exams in a conversational setting can be quite it's not quite accurate, right? So what you can do is if you take our survey, you'll be able to download the same test that I just showed you about Gavin, the footballer, and see if you can answer the questions yourselves using the 8-step strategy. Okay. We will post the answers to our Instagram page later today. We will post the we will upload the answers to our Instagram, I believe, or social media. Oh, next week. And you can try to answer them yourselves first using the 8 steps. If you want further practice with reading skills, a great site is called examenglish.com. You can find different reading papers from things like Cambridge classes, different exam places. So yeah, it's your turn, and I think Farid's going to tell you how to download the PDF now.
Oke, jadi sudah ada di chatbox ya teman-teman ya. Untuk mendownload contoh soalnya silakan diisi surveinya setelah ini sebelum teman-teman live dari Zoom-nya. Nanti teman-teman bisa isi survei sekaligus setelah mengisi surveinya teman-teman bisa download langsung contoh soalnya. Nanti bentuk jawabannya kita akan kreasikan di berbagai macam konten yang bisa teman-teman saksikan mulai minggu depan. Jadi dijawab dulu saja sebisa mungkin. Nanti teman-teman bisa stay tune di YouTube channelnya IF Surabaya atau di Instagramnya @if_surabaya. Nanti teman-teman akan menemukan bahasan dari jawaban-jawaban soal yang sudah teman-teman download dan sudah teman-teman coba untuk kerjakan. That's all from Mr. Ashley. Anything you want to add before we leave?
I'd like to say thank you for joining us. Yes. What I can say again is that I've used this technique to help myself in tests, not only as a kid, but not as a kid actually. I didn't know about this strategy so much. So you've got benefit from that. But I started using these as a teacher because I started teaching these things. So I started using them for myself as an academic when I do academic qualifications here. And I found it really helped. So I hope it's useful for you too. And I hope that it helps you to improve your reading score to an even higher level.
Oke, jadi sekali lagi cara-cara ini adalah cara-cara yang sudah ditemukan Mr. Ashley ketika Mr. Ashley memang sudah mulai mengajar dengan kami di sini. Jadi harapannya karena steps-steps ini sangat membantu Mr. Ashley juga. Jadi harapannya nanti hal-hal ini juga bisa membantu teman-teman untuk improve reading score-nya teman-teman ketika teman-teman dihadapkan di berbagai macam ujian bahasa Inggris. Rata-rata untuk ujian bahasa Inggris di bagian reading part ini sama. Jadi tinggal teman-teman bagaimana bisa mengimplementasikan semua step-step yang sudah dijelaskan Mr. Ashley. Poin yang penting dari Mr. Ashley tadi yang sudah sempat disampaikan adalah jangan lupa untuk tetap membagi waktu di masing-masing soal yang sudah teman-teman terima nantinya. Jadi dari situ teman-teman bisa tahu dan memberi limit kira-kira satu soal itu teman-teman bisa menyelesaikan maksimal berapa menit untuk kemudian beralih ke soal lain kalau misalnya teman-teman menemukan soal yang lebih sulit untuk dikerjakan terlebih dahulu dan kembali lagi ke soal sebelumnya. Oke, tetap berlatih, jangan lupa untuk menggunakan contoh soal yang sudah kita berikan setelah teman-teman mengisi surveinya. Nanti jawabannya akan kita bahas di berbagai macam konten yang bisa teman-teman temukan di Instagram @if_surabaya atau di YouTube channelnya @if_surabaya juga. Thank you so much for sharing with us Mr. Ashley this morning.
Thank you, Farid. Yes, and if you have any further topics you'd like us to cover in the future, please let us know.
Ya, jadi kalau misalnya teman-teman ada topik-topik lain yang berhubungan dengan bahasa Inggris nanti boleh disampaikan di link surveinya tersebut. Sampai ketemu lagi di IF Online Seminar selanjutnya. Tetap jaga kesehatan ya teman-teman ya. Jangan lupa untuk mematuhi protokol kesehatan dimanapun teman-teman berada. Dan sampai ketemu lagi di IF Online Seminar selanjutnya. See you.
Alright guys, thank you very much. Good luck with the reading. Please download the test and we'll see you next time.